Well then. Oh, it's kind of like a freaking Bravely situation with its overworld, isn't it? Is what this kind of reminds me of and such. Let's see here. And the giant sword thing in the middle of the city is a Blastia 2. At least I hope you're enjoying the game so far. Apart from that one boss battle, it definitely very much intrigues me so far. And that guy just despawned. I am definitely looking forward to seeing like what the rest of this game has to offer. And hopefully Zagi's fight didn't leave a bad taste in your mouth. Yeah, this game has cooking. Oh yeah, and that's her nickname you mentioned earlier. I thought that was just a typo at first, honestly. Is what I thought for a hot second.
And even money. Your friends are so generous, Yuri.
They're a bunch of jerks.
They can barely get by as it is.
Well, I'm sure they're worried about you and want you to have a safe
How'd you
journey.
beat him on the second try,
I'm
Ox?
just glad to be rid of a troublemaking kid.
Did you use my
That's not
strategies to jank him over?
Guess I can't come back empty-handed now that they've given us all this stuff. Now I gotta bring back the Aqua Blastia, no matter what.
So, I kind of like that compass in the top left. Like, the way that works. Interesting. Yeah, this is very much like a Bravely kind of situation, it feels like. Ow! Ow! I might have to, like, study up on the combat of this game to, you know, really understand, you know, what's going on here and such. You know? So I may well have to do. It is nice that we have 3 party members now. We did Sonic Dog, apparently.
Because you've lived a lot longer, right?
Not exactly.
I do like the post-battle chat. I think that's a really cool way to add charm and whatnot. But yeah, this game's overall map is way bigger than Bravely Default. I do wish that the camera turned a bit faster though. This is apparently max speed. What's this over here? Excuse me. I was gonna freaking see the party chat thingamabob for a hot second. Encounter link. Oh, all the dudos at once. Yeah, it's you know, certainly something. So I was holding the wrong button. I need to freaking remember buttons for this thingamabob. I might have to like look up some guides or something like that for like, you know, improving at combat of this game. Honestly, that's what I might well have to wind up doing. Yeah, the end lag after my attacks are very, very long to say the least. Just went up to him and kept hanging with combos and didn't try to block once. Somehow that worked. Would that have actually been a strategy that would have worked for me? If that would have, you know, for sure worked for me, then I would have been so bad.
Finish them off.
Well.
Hey, I learned something.
Receive title beginner combo user. I guess that's almost like an achievements progress kind of thing. Okay, what do we have here?
Estelle.
My camera's kind of blocked
She's been
this.
mumbling to herself for a while now. Hey, you coming? We don't have all day here.
Estelle.
Looks like she's in her own little world. Hey, Estelle.
Oh, right. Sorry. I'm coming.
Do they
Oh,
know
very
where
jittery.
she's from?
Yeah, so when the portraits move, it's very... The frame rate of it is not the best. What is this? Check. Elysia weed, an ordinary plant that grows on the Elysia continent. You can find items at various search points located throughout the world. Search points are restored after some time, so check back from time to time. Some search points will only appear after certain conditions have been fulfilled. You can find different items from the same search point. Try looking at them in various places. But when you played the game, you didn't really end up blocking too much. Yeah, we'll see how blocking here goes and such. When you said this game, that's the stuff about you saying that this game had similarities to Bravely Default 2, and I'm sorry that I didn't read out the comment earlier of you saying that this game had cooking and whatnot. It's gonna be a freaking Breath of the Wild situation, and we're gonna be a master chef. Except unlike Breath of the Wild, I don't think we're gonna be able to cook off of a burning death robot, unfortunately. That was one of my favorite things that I did in my Breath of the Wild playthrough. That was funny as heck, quite frankly. I thought that was really darn funny. Ow! You just freaking back kick me. Orange gel. Are you saying that you would use that item if I don't hit cancel? So my party members like go through my inventory of stuff? Maybe.
Yeah, I beat you into next week.
Next week?
The combat is certainly
But can you
intriguing so
Never
far.
mind.
It's certainly intriguing, and it also feels a lot better than that first freaking boss soloing it that felt like the freaking jankiest combat of my life. What have we here? Enter? Is this like a small outpost kind of camp thing, Bob? Wait, is there no voice acting here? Come a long way from the capital. Yes, I wonder if we're safe now. Hard to say. Those guys are a sticky lot. Woof. Huh? Why is there no voice acting here? I guess maybe this has to do with like a side quest or something, and maybe there's no voice acting for that. I don't know. I guess the store of counts as a cutscene. So, greetings. Hello. Welcome, good travelers. Is this a shop? It's the King of Adventure Traveler's Lodge. Oh, big brother, do try to be a bit more friendly. Sorry, Karen. Her name's Karen, apparently. Please, you'll have to excuse him. My name is Karen, and this is Rich, and I would very much like to speak to the manager. You're operating a traveling inn. Doesn't the King of Adventure refer to something else? Something more well-known? The late Emperor's brother, His Highness Regan, was known by that name thanks to his insatiable thirst for adventure. I don't know if it's pronounced Regan, but I've played too much Fire Emblem Three Houses, so that's what I'm saying now. Indeed, we took our name from His Highness Regan, it's true. We respect him. But more importantly, that's a pretty nice name then. So, are the two of you married? Married? Do we look like we're married? Oh, it seems I was mistaken. So very sorry. If you're tired, perhaps you'd like to stay the night. What should we do? Kill them all! No, sure, we'll sleep here. Excellent, thank you very much. Enjoy your shut-eye. Oh, big brother, please. I'm sorry. No, it's quite alright. What are you apologizing for? He said have a freaking good night. Every game needs a freaking in-resting tune. Did you rest well? Yeah, thanks a lot. I do hope our paths will cross again somewhere out on the road. Yes, I hope so too. Later. Wait, so is that a one-time use thing? Or, no, I can maybe come back here and do that anytime? Hold on, let's see this here.
Yuri, is this dog yours?
Oh, we got
he's
the
my
full
partner,
portrait.
Rapide.
Oh,
Now
nice
it's
to
a
meet you too.
smaller portrait.
Nice to meet you too. Did you actually understand what Rapide was saying?
No.
Yeah, I guess that was a stupid question.
Well, but yeah, the blocking takes a bit of time to register. And how much longer am I planning on streaming this, by the way? We'll probably wrap up pretty shortly here. I'll explore a few things in the overworld, and then we'll probably wrap up this session. I know that's getting, like, quite late and such. Is it a thing that I can reuse? Would you like to rest for 50 gold? Okay. So I can use that whenever, like that. Okay. At first I was like, why is one of those bars not full? But that's the experience thingamabob. So it looks like there's roughly enough space for one more unit here, if I had to guess. So I assume, like, a full, like, party would have 4 units at once. But I assume that we'd get, like, way more characters than that, considering, you know, the whole box art of this game having a ton of characters. But I assume, like, a full cast of playable characters, or an active party, would be 4, I assume. Kind of like how in Xenoblade Chronicles, for example, your full party of available characters is 7, but you can only bring, like, 3 into battle at once. So I assume this one's going to have 4 from what I'm seeing on that thingamabob there. Is my best guess. You literally just spawn out of nowhere and then immediately come after me. It's so rude. What? Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to, you know, get used to this combat. Don't you dare. Don't you dare try to do the thing. Ow! So rude. Yeah, I think that combat in this game is gonna take a little bit of practice. Still feels a bit strange. I'm sure it'll feel better once, you know, we have a bunch of stuff going and a bunch of party members. So we have Azure Edge and Cerberus Strike. Basic base art. Quickly punch the enemy 3 times. Oh, wait. I assign them to... Wait, so... Hold on. So I assume A is the button for, you know, all of our thingamabobs. And we can assign 4 at once. So it's kind of like... I guess it's kind of like specials in Smash. You have a neutral special, an up special, a down special, and a side special. Oh, and you can assign them to the other sticks too. Interesting. So if I hit up on the left stick with A, then... Interesting. Interesting. It's kind of like specials in Smash, is the way that I like to think about that. Interesting. Gotcha. Well, next time you stream, just be sure to let you know, set your work schedule so we will be available. Yeah, definitely gets better, your promise. Alrighty, sounds good. Yeah, and this will definitely, all the freaking games that I do for Mad Lad May, I want to make sure that most of the times that I hop into said game should be at times that, you know, the person that I'm doing it for is available to, you know, tune in and whatnot. Is this as advanced as story? I'm going in anyway. We're gonna wrap things up soonish, but died and hold.
Do you think those knights followed you here?
I wonder. Well, let's do our best not to stand out.
Okay, and I want to catch up with Flynn as soon as I can.
All right, let's see if we can just pass through the hold. Where's she off to now?
Welcome. I've got some nice gear in stock today. This blade was forged by none other than Assam the Blade Master. It even comes equipped with weapon skills. No traveler.
It even comes with a drink holder.
Feel free to give it a try.
Huh? What do you mean?
The special techniques contained in weapons. These techniques were originally passed down from master to pupil, but the Blade Master Assam used a special process to seal them within the weapons themselves. Bodhi Blastia can acquire techniques from weapons imbued with this power. With continued use, weapon arts can eventually be learned by the person using the weapon.
My, this young lady knows her stuff. That about sums it up.
I read in a book that the Kritya gave this knowledge to humans long ago.
Huh. I thought Bodhi Blastia only let you use strike and magic arts.
In order to find the fighting style that meets your needs, it's best to think carefully about weapon skills when choosing your weapon. There are even weapons without weapon skills that focus instead on raw attack power. It all depends on your preference. If weapons you equip have weapon skills sealed inside them, those weapon skills will be stored inside your Bodhi Blastia when you equip the weapons.
I'll never be able to take it seriously when they use terms like Bodhi Blastia. Those weapon skills will be stored inside your Bodhi Blastia when you equip the weapons.
If you have a weapon equipped, you can use the weapon skills sealed inside whenever you want. However, if you unequip that weapon, you'll have to set the weapon skills to be able to use them.
Maybe I
Each
understand.
weapon skill belongs to one of 4 different categories.
I'm gonna have to, like, really take time to learn these things. I might wind up looking guides for this game, honestly. Of, like, just general gameplay and, like, improving and yada yada.
When you set a few different skills in a weapon, depending on what category they are, a particular glyph will appear on the core of your Bodhi Blastia. So, if you had a bunch of weapon skills for attacking, you'd see a glyph called Fleck.
Because what I associate with attacking is Fleck.
That glyph lets you know
Whatever
the
that
strength
means.
of your physical attacks has gone up. Try all of the combinations you can think of to see what they do. I'm afraid the sun would set long before I could explain them all to you. Did you get all that?
No, give it to me one more time, actually.
Well, it is pretty complicated.
One more time, actually.
You should be able to read all about it in that young lady's book.
Oh, okay. What's the point of saying no, then?
If weapons you equip have weapon skills...
Oh, okay.
sealed
No, he does
inside
explain
them,
it again.
Those weapon skills will be stored inside your Bodhi Blastia when you equip the weapons.
Okay.
If you have a weapon equipped, you can use the weapon skills sealed inside whenever you want.
Okay.
However, if you unequip that weapon, you'll have to set the weapon skills to be able to use them.
Huh. So it's just like... It's kind of like, I guess, the system of gems in Xenoblade Chronicles 1, where some equipment does come with, like, preset stuff, but, you know, you can equip stuff outside of that as well, if you still want that, I believe, right?
Each weapon skill belongs to one of 4 different categories. When you set a few different skills in a weapon, depending on what category they are, a particular glyph will appear on the core of your Bodhi Blastia. So,
Okay.
if you had a bunch of weapon skills for attacking, you'd see a glyph called Fleck. That glyph lets you know the strength of your physical attacks has gone up.
So if I use a whole bunch of stuff from the same set, then it maybe gives bonuses.
Try all of the combinations you can think of to see what they do.
That gives the symbol and
I'm afraid
whatnot.
the sun would set long before I could explain them all to you.
Huh.
Did you get
I think
all
it
that?
will be something that I wind up looking into more off camera to
You were
understand it.
fast.
Do I now?
You should be able to read all about it in that young lady's book.
Okay.
I can't imagine business is all that great in a place like this.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not here because I want to be. There are monsters on the far side of the hold, so I'm stuck.
Monsters, huh? Did you hear that? And she's not listening.
Huh? Did you say something?
I said I'm gonna go get some information, so you wait right there.
Oh, I'll come too.
That's all right. Go ahead and take it. It's pretty old and it has some pages missing, but it's yours if you like.
Thank you very much.
Well, that was very generous.
Is that book any good?
It's fascinating. You can read it as soon as I finish.
Acquire the following battle book, a collection of notes on all sorts of battle-related information. It's important to go back to the basics. I'm sure it will be for me many times. Check the status of the battle via the battle book. You can also get information on weapon arts here. Check back when you want to find out more. Okay, why do you have a weird satchel on you? What is this? About to head for her lure. It's rich in medicinal herbs and such. Well, okay. But yeah, let's see here. The more you get used to the game, it starts to become easier. You can always switch it back to hard mode if you want. I don't know if I do that or not. If you hold the left analog in different angles, it affects your way to attack. Was that maybe why I was sending up that one boss, like up into the air from time to time earlier? Maybe left analog in different directions gives you different attacks, like regular hexamine. Huh. Found that out like halfway through the game, and it's the Knight's Nexus book. Freaking imagine. It's the librarian asterisk is what that is, or something. Can you? No, the freaking flick back on this is awful. So can't save data in here. Cabin, what? The lower lodging facilities for travelers to hold. It's. Would you like a stay? Find yourself weary. Come back anytime. I think one of the things that freaking is the most irksome to me so far is this freaking flick back of the cursor in the menus that makes this menu navigation freaking awful. The flick back of the controller, which might not be that bad if I play with a different controller, maybe, but the fact that the game registers that flick back as a freaking, you know, input in the menu just makes this navigation god awful. So, you know, there's probably going to be a lot of misinputs in the menu, to say the least. Save at the floating. Yeah, I know that there's like, why is it an option in the menu if I can only ever save at the floating book? I don't see one here. Is that the siren for a Titan attack? Or something? I don't know. Is the Colossal about to show its head over the freaking thingamabob? Everybody run! The Smash community's trying to get in here!
Arrows, bring the arrows! Shut the gate now! Damn it! What are they doing here this time of the year? The monsters will fall back if we stop the main charge. Remember your training!
It's so much funnier when I imagine it. It's just like the Smash community coming to go do something dumb like they often do. Not like everybody in the Smash community does freaking dumb stuff, but I swear whenever I hear about things happening in the Smash community on like Twitter, there's always something dumb going on.
Hold the gate! There's still more!
Very colorful and polygonal.
Are all those monsters?
We just left the capital and things are already getting crazy. That's it. I'm cursed, I know it.
The gate!
What the hell? Get it out!
Estelle, you wait over... Hey!
Help the girl!
Whatever you say.
Please, I can't get up. Ow! The monsters! The monsters! Everything's gonna be okay. Hey,
I don't know what it is about, you know, media saving some kid but a doll is left behind just being such a sad sight. Like, I didn't know what to say at that moment, but it's like one of those things where it's just like, oh no, come on, you know.
Hurry!
It's just painful.
Hey, let go of me!
You wait here. for keeping a low profile.
Yuri!
Well, I'm glad he recovered it.
How can I ever thank you? Oh, it's
Warm
nothing,
lodgings?
really.
I'm not sure what I would have done.
Warm
if you
meal and
hadn't
good
cured me.
lodgings
Thanks.
for a day. Is what I'd say if I was traveling. Whoa!
I'm just thankful that everyone's safe. Whoa.
All worn out, huh?
It really is dangerous beyond the barriers with so many ferocious monsters around.
This place could definitely use a barrier against a pack that big.
Couldn't they install a barrier blastia here?
No. Barriers are a precious resource.
You're right. And with the current technology, we can't make any more. If only we could recover the secrets of the ancient Garayos civilization. They created the blastia.
Even if that were to happen, I can't see the Empire using the knowledge for the common good.
Well, maybe we shouldn't be relying on something that's a finite resource.
Word with you.
A lesson that could be learned in our actual real world as well.
So why don't you let us through? I'll beat those monsters to a pulp with these fists of mine.
How many times do I have to say it? These monsters are tougher than you think.
You dare to doubt the power of the monster hunters?
What is this, a Monster Hunter game?
Stop!
Don't you dare raise that blade into the air! It's so intimidating and it's disturbing me!
Stay out of this! You knights cheated us out of a job back there, and now we're gonna work off some steam!
Stay out of this! He'll stab the ground if he wants to!
Hey, hold it! It's always the same with these guild idiots.
Great, we'll never get through as long as this keeps up.
But Flynn is headed to Halor and we're so close.
Well, getting caught by the Knights wouldn't be too fun. Let's find another way through.
Okay, welp. Party chat.
We made quite a scene, didn't we? I was so worried once those knights noticed us.
I told you we couldn't stand out.
You were the one who just jumped.
I can't just look away when monsters are attacking someone right in front of me, right? What's so funny?
I'm sorry. That sounded just like the way Flynn described you, that's all. He often said that you could never turn a blind eye when someone near you was suffering.
Well, next time you see him, you tell him that I said he's the same way.
I'll do that.
Well then, let's see here. But yeah, you should have one of the books or be able to save in the overworld. And yeah, this game made you laugh a lot too because of the random moments. Well, what's in here? What's in here though? Hi. The station is for guards only. All unauthorized personnel must refrain from entry. Well, the door wasn't exactly locked or anything, so I mean, what? Okay, so I do have free movement on the ladder. Wasn't sure whether I would or not. Huh. Hi, weird Sephiroth.
Hey, hold on.
Hello? I beg your pardon, but what are you looking at?
Humanity at work. Their tenacious attachment to this life.
Where do I recognize your voice from?
Huh?
Why? Why must humans live the lives they do?
Oh my goodness, where do I recognize that voice from? Or they seem very similar to. What is it?
They fight for a share of monopolized technology and hurt even those closest to them.
I don't know if it's him or not, but what the voice definitely at least reminds me of is Tsukasa from Dr. Stone.
Are you talking about Blastia? I can't speak for anyone else, but
I don't know if it's him or not, but it's at least a very similar
it
voice.
doesn't seem to me like there's any reason why we get dumped into the world. But once you're here, You just do what you can to give this life everything you've got.
Perhaps there is truth in what you say.
Maybe it is him.
Hey,
He's gone. What was that all about?
got me. They say the heat can make people go a little crazy.
Is it hot?
I don't know whether that's him or not, but the voice is at least very similar. But yeah, oh my god, it's him. He's probably one of your favorite characters in this game. His voice is so badass, and Yuri's still your favorite, though. I swear, that might be Mr. freaking Dudo. I guess I can't get past that. I don't know if it is, but I think that's at least what the voice reminds me of, because it's so similar. Kind of like how Yuri's voice reminded me of Chrom from Fire Emblem Awakening, but, you know, I looked it up and it's a different person, but it's still like a very similar voice that gives that same kind of feel, you know? Apple gel, well, check. Milk and eggs, we're just gonna freaking loot the place. This kind of reminds me of Fire Emblem Echoes, going around to like various locations and just yoinking things from everywhere. You know, that's what this kind of reminds me of, honestly. Where's a save book thingamabob? Where did, okay, yeah, let's go ahead and do that. I think we're gonna wrap things up. It's getting late. Streams have been going on for a good while. We freaking started out with Fire Emblem Fates, and then we did Dead by Daylight, and then we did Tales of Vesperia. So we did freaking 3 games this stream. I've been streaming for almost 9.5 hours. It's been a long stream, to say the least. But in case you missed Harmonia, flip back to the menu. Doesn't happen to you. So it's just a thing about this controller. I'm gonna see if there's flick back on another controller before we wrap things up. Where's another controller? Do I have one over here? Or this might all be in my bag over there. I mean, I can do it with my GameCube controller right here. That's already plugged into my Switch and stuff. I can just do it with a GameCube controller really quickly. Oh, there's definitely flick back on my GameCube controller. I mean, it's also a really old GameCube controller that I've been using to play Smash Bros. Since, you know, since Smash 4. Since the early days of Smash 4, I've been using this exact same GameCube controller, and it's really run down, and sometimes my C-stick does the wrong inputs, and I think that I should probably replace this controller really soon, because it has very much, you know, seen its age and stuff, but maybe there's not as much flick back. There's still some. There's still some flick back sometimes. Like, whoa. There's definitely still some flick back. The GameCube controller doesn't have a home button. I need to lean forward and actually hit the home button on one of the Joy-Cons on my Switch. Hold on. Do I have a controller over here that I can quickly snag and test this out with to see if there's flick back? Let's see. Let's see here. Here's a Pro controller. No, what was this? I connected 2 by accident. Which one is this? Which one is this? The one with higher battery or lower battery? The one with higher battery, apparently. Because all my controllers are in that bag and stuff. But yeah, let's see here. Is there flick back on this one? On this random generic Pro controller? Yeah. Not as much, though. It's not as frequent as the other one, I don't think. As my Smash controller. I mean, the Smash controller has seen much more use as well, because that's like my main kind of controller. Because it's so much cooler than, you know, the regular kind of standard ones. There's definitely still some flick back, to say the least. Definitely still some flick back. I don't think it's as much flick back as the... Oh, let's see in the overworld. If I flick right. Yeah, sometimes he turns around. Yeah, I mean... Yeah, sometimes he turns around with a little bit of the flick back. Do a little bit of a moonwalk, almost. Not always. Not always. Let's flick the other way. Yeah. I don't think it's as frequent. I don't think this controller has seen as much use. But, can I moonwalk like in DBD? It's a lot harder with a freaking stick than a WASD. But yeah, there is definitely some flick back here and there. That the game just registers as an input, unfortunately. Even though it's like the tiniest little flick back. Huh. But I guess that's probably just gonna be a controller. I think that's just gonna be a problem no matter what controller I use. is what it seems like. Probably just an issue with the remote. I mean, issue with like the controllers all themselves. But, you know, I also think it might be a bit of an issue with the game registering the tiniest little input to whatever direction as a proper input. I could try the Joy-Con set. That's in my album. Look at all the freaking stats and pictures that I took of freaking Bravely Default 2 when we were doing that. Hold on. There's the Joy-Cons on my Switch if I move my microphone. If I briefly lean forward and try taking these off. Let's see what it's like with Joy-Cons over thingamabobs. Hold on. Let's see. Is there a flick back? Really? Really? No way! No way! No, hold on. Was I just getting lucky? Hold on. Whoops, I accidentally did that at an angle that time. That one doesn't count. Is there really no flick back on my Joy-Cons? It's just the other controllers? Should I play this game with Joy-Cons? Let's try the other way. Is there a flick back? Really? What about the other way? No, freaking like down. Oh, I guess I can't like... Really? Really? There's no flick back on Joy-Cons. But I like playing with a Pro Controller though. Should I really play this game with Joy-Cons for like the rest of this playthrough just because there's no flick back on these things? And I mean, the regular Joy-Cons I used to use for a long time were my gray ones that came with the Switch, but you know, my main ones eventually became these ones because my gray ones, which are around here somewhere, suffer from Joy-Con drift. These ones don't yet. My gray ones, my favorite Joy-Cons, my gray ones have Joy-Con drift, unfortunately. But yeah, truthfully, once it's just playing it with Joy-Cons, so maybe I should just put up with the freaking, you know, flick back of a Pro Controller just for the sake of being able to play with a controller, or Pro Controller. You could if you want, but it's up to you. Yeah, I think that I'll probably prioritize the bigger buttons and like better sticks of a Pro Controller and like better feel of the controller over not having to deal with controller flick back. I think that's very interesting though, that these Joy-Cons don't suffer from the flick back though. I think that's very intriguing. Hold on, let's put these back on the thing, slide that one on, and put that one back on the Switch too. Again, the regular Joy-Cons I'd use on my Switch used to be the gray ones, but they got Joy-Con drift, so there's that. Where's my other Pro Controller? Hold on. I have 3 Pro Controllers total, is the thing. The last one is where? A bag. Where is it in here? Can't see in the dark. I might need a flashlight or something. Where is this thing? Where did I put it? Dang it. I'm grabbing my phone and using this thing as a flashlight within my bag of controllers. No, it's in here somewhere. There it is. There it is. Wow. Turn off my phone flashlight. Alright, found the darn thing. This is my last Pro Controller I have. I have 3 of them. I have 2 regular ones and I have the Smash one. Does this one have flick back? Totally does. Right? Unless that was just a fluke. Whoops. Whoa. Hold on. Yeah, has some flick back. And it's a noisy controller. What the heck? It's louder. I swear. Maybe this one has less flick back than any of the... I mean, both my regular Pro Controllers seem to have less flick back than my Smash one that's seen, like, the most use. But they definitely still have flick back. The only things that didn't seem to have the flick back were the Joy-Cons, and I don't really want to play with Joy-Cons, you know? It's gonna make menu navigation a pain, isn't it? So none of my... Unfortunately, none of my 3 Pro Controllers are able to avoid the flick back issue. So, that sucks. Maybe it's not that bad. I don't know. Maybe I was just getting lucky there. Yeah. So, menu navigation with the flick back issue is gonna... Oh yeah, that's gonna be a freaking pain. But I think I'd still rather play with a Pro Controller than Joy-Cons. Maybe the Pro Controller's analogs are super sensitive, maybe. But like, you should never, ideally, you shouldn't have a controller, you know, register inputs from flickback. you know, like that. Ideally, in a perfect world, you wouldn't have, you know, it register inputs from flickback. Let's see here. The other stuff I missed there. And Nintendo makes their analog super sensitive or more than Sony. I wouldn't be surprised about that. Do agree that if you end here, you've been playing for over 9 hours. But like you said, be sure to let you know once I've finally got a stream schedule set up to play this game. Yeah, I don't know. What will my schedule look like for the next near future? Would I make this one of the things I hop into on a weekly basis? Would it be more often than that? Would it be one of the things I just hop into when I feel like hopping into it? I don't know. I'll figure it out and stuff like that. But yeah, there's that also. Now we know that we have a... I was just trying to go to the right that whole time. Yeah. Yeah, it's, the controller flickback issue is irksome, but not the end of the world, I suppose. Talk? Woof. At least it's not the end of the world, I suppose. Well, this has been my first session ever into any Tales game ever. I had no idea what I was getting myself into with this. Apart from, you know, the one boss flickback issues and some other minor things. I do think that this is something that I could see myself getting into, though. One, like, getting past, you know, as we get deeper into things and as I, you know, properly learn this game and such, and, you know, put up with the issues that I'll have to put up with, that I guess is probably a mix of an issue with the game slash an issue with the console slash an issue with Nintendo's own controllers. Is what it seems like that issue is, unfortunately. After we've gotten past, you know, just putting up with all these issues and whatnot, I do hope that, you know, this winds up turning out really good. Again, I've literally no idea what I'm getting myself into, but we'll see here. I think I missed a few more things I mentioned earlier. Well, I apologize that I missed them, but I'm probably going to wind up wrapping things up here. But yeah, it can't be the game since the Joy-Cons don't have a flip back, but that could just be because the Joy-Cons are perfectly resetting to like the exact center position there. Like flickback is caused from the controller itself as it goes back to neutral position, like very briefly going to the other, briefly the other way. And the game registers that as an input. I feel like the game itself should be programmed in such a way where it's like, if there is the teeny tiniest input in the opposite direction after the stick returns to equilibrium, then don't register that as an input, you know? I personally feel like. Because if you do have like a super teensy tiny input in the other direction after, you know, the stick returns to equilibrium, then it's probably flipback, you know? But yeah. Use directional pad navigation in the menus, but it's... Oh, and it just turns me right now, as is. I don't know why you'd want to do this, but I don't really want to do directional pad movement in a 3D space and stuff. It's not like I have to worry about flip back in the freaking overworld here a whole lot. Like, sometimes I'll be moving and then he freaking turns around to the other direction. Maybe? Doesn't want to do it anymore. It's pretty random, I guess. It's mostly just menus that freaking become a pain when I never get my cursor to where I... Wait, can I use the D-pad here? I can use the D-pad here. I think I found the answer. When we're in the menus, use the D-pad instead of the left stick. Because the moment I use the left stick, this happens. Jeez. Gosh darn. I swear I was just hitting to the right like that whole time. So I think the answer is use the D-pad in the menus. I think is our answer. Okay. I never had too much of a problem with the flipbacks. I mean, I'll just use the D-pad in the menus from now on, because using the stick in the menus, it, I was just hitting to the right and it somehow went down again. I was just pressing to the right that entire time. I think the D-pad, like this, is gonna be the answer in the menus. So, there's that. But yeah, that's gonna be where I wrap things up. This has been an interesting way to start out our Mad Lad May of me hopping into a bunch of games, you know, that are being requested from nerds around the community, which I don't know if I'll ever do again in the future, because my goodness, I get a lot of games piled onto me, even with this small thing, that are gonna take a long time. Like, I hear this game's very long. Apparently Dark Souls is very long, so life is gonna be interesting for the next month-ish of pushing through these games, to say the least. But regardless, hope you all enjoyed this first session. We'll be hopping into plenty more of these shenanigans of games I've literally never played or barely even heard about before in my life. And yeah, I'm gonna go like pass out now. So until next time then, take care. See ya.